brothers and sisters, family, and my fellow Americans, peace be with you. So right now, as you know, there's a lot going on in the Ukraine. Obviously, the Ukraine being a part of Europe, and Russia invading the Ukraine. You want the truth. I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm here to tell you the truth. So basically, the Ukraine is not part of Nato for a reason. Ukraine has, Vladimir Putin has had his eyes on the Ukraine and invading the Ukraine for quite some time now. So this ties in with what I also want to get into: propaganda. Propaganda saying that we didn't see this coming. We have known that Russia has, since the USSR, has been looking to take back the Ukraine. Now, I'm going to stand here and tell you straight up, this is not our fight. Okay? I want to commend the White House. I want to commend NATO for doing the correct thing. And what do I mean by the correct thing? No-fly zone. We are not here to determine what happens over in the Ukraine. Right now, we need to worry about staying out of a world war affair. Now, I want to quote what the First Lady of the Ukraine actually said. She said, "This is not a war just in Ukraine. This is a war in Europe." Well, I'm here to tell you, you are wrong. 100% wrong. That statement right there is pulling countries in different directions, and that statement alone ain't gonna work, but it's pulling countries not towards the Ukraine. If anything, it's pushing them away, because nobody wants to be a part of what's going on right now. Only thing we can do, for the Ukraine, I'm gonna tell you right now, family, I give my thanks and praises. I want to give my thanks and praises to everybody that watches my videos. Thank you. As for the Ukraine, trust me, I pray for you all. We pray for you all. And there's only so much we can do. Now, in case you haven't noticed how badly we actually do need Russia as a partner in the future, because right now Russia is trying to gain their independence. If you don't quite understand, you need to go back in history to understand that the Ukraine was once part of the USSR. All right, so things are pretty bad right now. So it's affecting our economy, and we are putting sanctions on Russia, which is going to in turn affect our economy to the point where I saw soup yesterday for $10. Soup at the grocery store for $10. Okay, that's not normal. That's not normal, family. Okay. Also, what else have I seen? In a matter of 1 week, gas prices have gone up to $1 up from $3.50, $3.49, 3 for $9, okay, to now what I just saw was the lowest $4.39. Diesel, we're looking at diesel, and today's date is the 9th of March. Diesel's going up now. This is a big deal, and you need to understand that this no flow, and I want to give my thanks and praises to NATO specifically, because stay out of the war. This is war, okay? Now, what you're seeing on the news is propaganda. There's no fingers being pointed back at me. I told you, I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here to give you and express the truth in which is what is really going on. Right now, I'm in Fort Caroline, in Jacksonville. So what does this all really mean? Is it uncertain on what's going to happen? My answer is this: there is no uncertainties. We have known for quite a long time that Russia and Vladimir Putin was going to go in and take over the Ukraine. Now, the reason why, and I'm going to go back to NATO, the Ukraine was never accepted, and it goes deeper, a lot deeper, and I'm going to get into that. The reason why they were never accepted into NATO, because we knew this day would happen. Now, if they were in NATO, that would potentially we would be on the verge of World War. But thank God right now, and you might want to be thanking the Most High for this, because we're not looking at World War. And thank you to our government. And you know what? Biden's doing an okay job. I think he's doing a pretty decent job. A lot of people don't like Biden personally. I'm not a huge fan of Biden, but right now, in this time, he's even reaching out to the Middle East for oil. It is bad. So if you don't think for 1 second, and if you think that we are independent without Russia, we are not independent without Russia. This could potentially get very serious. And before I cut this video, which I'm not going to cut it short, we really need to think about our own people as Americans. Yes, what's going on in Ukraine is a disaster. It's horrific. It's war. That's what war is. Okay, and you're seeing, all they want to bring up is civilian casualties in order to make it to the point where it's basically they're instigating, and who are they? Propaganda, MSNBC, Fox News. You're getting the same shit. Okay, you're being fed the same spoon crap. You're being spoon-fed from a silver spoon. You're not getting the full picture. And with that said, there's a lot more to this, and I'm going to go into it. So it starts like this. Good, perfect. So as I was saying, you are now being spoon-fed bullshit. Excuse my language. You are now being spoon-fed lies from it ain't the government. It's what they want you to see. They want you to feel bad for the Ukraine. And of course we do. But as a sovereign nation in which Ukraine is, and basically very similar to our nation, we need to take this as a reminder that this could be devastating for the Ukraine or the world. Let me say that again. This could be devastating for the Ukraine or for the world. So I would say leave it with the Ukraine. Is it unknown what's going to happen? No. I'm going to make this prediction. Ukraine is going to be taken over by Russia, and that's where it's most likely going to end. Now, you're also being fed propaganda, for example, that the Ukrainians, and I feel horrible for what's happening. And I pray for the Ukraine. I will say a prayer. As for I was saying, we don't need to be pulled into their war. This is not our war to fight. We as Americans need to stick together. And when and if we have to come to fight, we will be ready. Right now is time to prepare. As they say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Right now is the time to prepare yourselves mentally and physically for what might happen. Now I want you to notice something, how the news is so full of shit. They jumped from COVID, okay? They jumped from COVID to war overnight. Look, where did COVID go? As of March 18th, okay? We don't have to wear masks. The mask mandate around the United States of America is done. It's over with, okay? Now, you have to understand that in these times of war, you are going to see things that you are not going to like. But let me tell you, it's a much different story than World War II. There are a lot less casualties in war nowadays. But you have to understand, there will be civilian casualties no matter what. Now, pointing at the Ukraine, and with all fingers pointing at you, not me, not America, not my fellow Americans, you had the warning. You had over a month of a warning to leave Ukraine. You ignored that warning and were invaded. That is unfortunate. Again, you are in our prayers, but there is nothing that we can do except for, unless we want to bring ourselves into this war, we can donate. We can't give money, we can donate money. You understand what I'm saying? It's that bad. We are not close to a world war, but if Vladimir Putin or Russia steps on a different territory, for example, the territories I'm talking about are NATO territories, then, well, we're looking at world war. So for right now, don't get too held up in the news. Take care of yourself, take care of your body, eat correct. And with that said, brothers and sisters, I want to say may peace be with you and also with you. And